Welcome to Tassie's Football Fix for another week. I'm Damien Gill from FFT, and as always, Alex Luttrell from the Mercury's here to talk through another big round of the Victory League. Well, Alex, a very interesting round.
Yeah, it was a fantastic round of football, Damo. Round 2, 5 goals each for Kingborough and Launceston down at the Den. Launceston took a 2-0 lead early, inside 20 minutes, and then 2 goals from Danny Cohen saw the Lions back to 4-2 by the 48th minute. Then a fantastic goal from the restart from Johnny McSorley from Launceston, halfway line. A bit like Aaron Cairns last year against the Northern Rangers, so strong contender for goal of the week and goal of the year. And then it ended up 5-5, a few goals and a sending off for Fionn Collins for the Lions, resulting in a penalty. And then a 90th minute equaliser at the death from Dan Egan from Launceston saw the two sides take away a point each.
Yeah, massive shootout at the Lions Den there, but good to see Launceston City on the up. The second game of the round, we saw South Hobart defeat Tilford Zebras. I think we were expecting a bit of a tighter clash in this one and goals both ways, but it didn't happen. Superb keeping both ways, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It was very physical, and as their traditional rivals, so it's always going to be a very physical and spiteful clash. Nick Morton scored early in the 8th minute before Liam Scott was astonishingly left. You can't leave this bloke unmarked at the far post, so just a bit of defensive lack of discipline from the Zebras. So that was 2-0, and then Andy Brennan scored late in the 95th minute. But fantastic game overall, great spectacle. Zebras just struggled again to really get that full momentum, and Alex Lazinski was marked out of the game.
And Kane Pearce, some absolutely sensational saves for South Hobart when Zebras were pushing for an equaliser. In the next game of the round, Northern Rangers just scraped home a victory at home over Glenorchy Knights. I think we were expecting a bit of a one-sided contest here, but it didn't happen, Alex.
Yeah, Knights were a few men down. Sam Criver was out, their star goalkeeper. Unfortunately, Paul Wilcox netted an own goal for the Rangers early, and then Harry Woolley managed to pull one back for the Knights away, which was a bit of a surprise. But then Shane Brassington got his first goal of the year to seal the win in the second half for the Rangers. So that was expected, but probably thought there were a few more goals in that one from the Rangers.
Yeah, probably wasn't his nicest goal, but I reckon he's pretty happy with it, and they walked away with the victory.
Yeah.
The last game of the round, Olympia did what very few teams do and walked away from Valley Road with a victory, Alex.
Yeah. We heard from Jake Vandermeer that it was a very physical affair, as we saw last week with the Zebras and Devonport. Only South Hobart have taken a win away from Valley Road, so fantastic result for Olympia, 2-1. Alex Ralph getting his debut goal, the new English attacking midfielder, and Nick Burns scoring for Olympia also just on half-time. But we heard from Jake Vandermeer that it was actually his goal in the end, but we're not sure what happened there.
Pretty sure it was Jake Vandermeer's goal. If you're a defender, you always make sure you claim him, that's for sure. And we actually caught up with Jake Vandermeer on the big away win to see how it went down.
It was just really hard to play the ball around the way we wanted to. We like to try and knock the ball around, as I said, pass and move, but the ground is so small and they're a great team at just pressing you, so we just found no time on the ball and no options, so we just had to resort to a lot of long balls. So we struggled fairly hard. The first goal we were very fortunate to get, and then we got a very well-worked set piece for the second goal, and we managed to hold on.
So Mersey claimed the goal, but was it yours?
It was mine, yeah.
It was yours.
Oh, Mersey didn't claim it. I don't know what happened, maybe the ref. I'm wearing 16, Mersey wears 6. It's mixed up, I'm not sure, but in the end, if Mersey did, they did give it to Mersey, I wouldn't care. I just want to leave it 3 points and a win.
And it was a huge win for the Warriors. Ask you, did you have a win in the tipping on the weekend, Alex? I don't think it was your best week once again. I think I might have just got one up on you once again.
Yeah, I'm not doing too well so far, David. 2 this week, unfortunately. I'm still waiting on that bonus point for 5, but I'm only on 5 after 2 rounds, so I believe you're on 7?
I'm flying. I'm absolutely flying. I'm just going to leave you behind. So watch out, Alex Luttrell.
Moving on to tips, mate. What are your tips for this week? We've got a big opening game on Friday night. Glenorchy Knights host Kingborough Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. Glenorchy Knights, Kingborough Lions. For me, this has draw written all over it. Glenorchy Knights not at full strength at this point in time, and Kingborough, I think they will really be out for a point after
Yeah.
letting it slip last week. So I expect a draw from that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Kingborough on that one. So, moving on to the Devonport and Launceston game, can you give us a bit of an insight on what happened there?
Yeah,
with
so
Danny Allsop?
Launceston City host Devonport this weekend, 5 p.m. at Mitsubishi Park. Danny Allsop was meant to be playing for Lonnie City, but unfortunately he injured his back on the weekend, so he won't be lining up for Launceston City, of course. Former Socceroo, former Melbourne Victory star. So I think Devonport defenders can breathe a little easier knowing he's not out there.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a shame for Launceston. I'm going to go with... I was going to go with the draw originally, but now Allsop's not coming down. I think I'm going to go with Devonport for their first win of the year.
Absolutely. Next game of the round is a huge one. Saturday night at Warrior Park from 7 p.m. We have the traditional rivals squaring off. Olympia hosting Tilford Zebras. Both will really want to stay in check with South Hobart.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a fantastic game, and Zebras really need to prove their title credentials in this game. Olympia have been playing some fantastic football, but Zebras were a bit down in the dumps last week. Very physical affair, maybe a few sore bodies here and there. So I'm going to go with Olympia for this one, Damo.
Yeah, I'm saying I think Tilford Zebras will come out with some bruised and battered bodies from that match with South Hobart. And their record, they haven't beaten Olympia in 6 games, and I think that'll only continue because Olympia are looking super.
Yeah,
so I've got Olympia for that one. Yeah. Last game of the round, we have South Hobart hosting Northern Rangers at Darcy Street from 2 p.m. on Sunday. Rangers last year always got close to South Hobart, but couldn't find that extra gear to take down the champions. What do you expect from this one?
I expect a very physical affair. We spoke to, I believe it was Hugh Ludford earlier, and he said it was always a very physical affair and one of the toughest games to play against the Rangers, even when they travel down. They've got Adam Edwards firing, their new English striker, with Shane Brassington, so that's fantastic for them. I'm going to go with South, but again, a very physical affair at Darcy Street.
When you're ahead in the tips like I am, you be a little safe. So, yeah, South Hobart for mine. I just think Ben Hamlet coming in, adding to Braden Mann and Andy Brennan, that's a defender's worst nightmare. I definitely pity them. I expect South Hobart comfortably at Darcy Street.
Do you think that they'll line up together? Ben Hamlet alongside?
I think we'll see Ben Hamlet probably from the bench this week, but I think in later weeks we will see those three
up front,
which will be very, very potent. And now, you mentioned earlier, Alex, Johnny McSorley scored from halfway against Kingborough on the weekend. There were some cracking goals and saves on this weekend. Check them out and head to our website, footballfedtaz.com.au, to vote for your favourite. That was unbelievable. I don't know how Kane Pearce saved that first one. I think that's probably the pick of them for mine.
Definitely, yeah, for mine as well. Johnny McSorley's goal, contender for goal of the year, as I said before. Fantastic.
Unbelievable. You can head to footballfedtaz.com.au to pick out your favourite. Now, that's all we've got time for on today's Tassie's Football Fix. We'll bring you the latest next week at the same time, so look out for that one. As always, head to Football Fed Taz on Facebook and Twitter to get your latest news and information. Thank you very much, and see you next week.